Thank you, Angela. All right, let's get going. Good morning, Deputy Mayor, Madam Mayor, Council members. My name is Andrew Selman. I'm a proud Hamiltonian. I'm a Ward 3 resident. And I'm here today to talk about the draft report of the Mayor's Task Force on Transparency, Access, and Accountability. Now, the issues detailed within the report will require everyone to work together within the horseshoe here. And I'd first like to address working together. So I'd like to note, I've seen some online commentary from Councillor Crutch directed at Councillor Jackson. Now, I believe these were counterproductive to working together, where Councillor Crutch stated the need for Councillor Jackson to retire. And I'm going to quote, "I completely agree with Graham's point here, and I have never understood why some stay in the same elected position for decades."
Hold on, who's Graham?
Graham Crawford.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I believe it's a financial backer of Councillor Crutch. So,
yeah, that's...
I'm quoting his own words, but I appreciate you calling that,
yeah,
that
okay.
out of order.
Just be careful, please.
I'm going to be very careful. So I believe these comments do not foster a strong team environment. I personally find these comments to be counterproductive to be working together. They're ageist, and quite frankly, they're rich coming from the first-term councillor. That being said, let's get focused on the task. So the transparency report. I thank the chairs for their work, but I do have 3 concerns that I'd like to address them all today. That would be the small sample size, the hidden cost, and finally, the accountability within the report. I'll tackle each of those and close with a step to rebuild trust and transparency within the constituents of Hamilton. So I'm going to wear a few different hats today. The first hat I'm going to put on is my analytics hat. I've worked with survey data for well over 15 years, so I approached this survey with that informing me, that professional background informing me. So let's discuss the small sample size. So the task force, the webpage, it claimed it reached thousands of residents within this city. But the final report showed we reached only 306 Hamiltonians. That's less than 0.5% of our 600,000 strong city. The survey sample of just 306 people from a city of, again, 600,000 plus, creates a margin of error of plus or minus 5 to 6%, meaning the results could be off by a significant amount. This large margin of error reduces the confidence in the findings, and it fails to reliably represent the diverse views of the entire population of Hamilton. So ask yourself, do 306 voices really represent all of Hamilton's diversity? Our urban, our rural, our young or old? We don't know, because the report only shares aggregate results, such as that 80% of the residents of the city of Hamilton have low or very low trust in City Hall. Now, without the raw data, we can't tell if that 80% represents a broad cross-section of Hamiltonians or merely a narrow group. If we're serious about listening, let's release the full raw survey data. You can redact the respondents' names out of that. It's quite easy to do. This can be shared with researchers, journalists, citizens like myself who'd like to verify and review the results. Now, I will note, I did request that data myself. I was informed that I would have to pursue a Freedom of Information request to get that transparency data. I did find that a little bit ironic. Second, let's discuss the costs. So this is where I put my hat on as a taxpayer who's staring down yet another property tax increase with far more coming on the horizon. The task force was debating between 2 consultants, Enterprise Canada and the Social Planning and Research Council of Hamilton, to run this process, to run this survey. Hiring experts isn't wrong, but hiding the price tag is. As reported in the public record, when Council reviewed the bids in July 2024, those bids were redacted. The costs were redacted from public agendas, redacted from a transparency project. And I will note, we did not choose between one of those 2 vendors. We decided to go with both of them. We hired both vendors. Interesting. Now, the final draft report names the consultants but skips any cost breakdown, and rather the draft report. How much did Enterprise Canada get? How much for SPRC? What about the staff time? Without real numbers, we're left guessing. Did it cost us tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of dollars to get these 306 surveys? So I do question, with our ever-growing City of Hamilton staff and the costs associated with that growth, do we not have the technical skills here in the City of Hamilton to run a survey of 306 people? I'm confident we do. And finally, third, accountability. And maybe this is where I put on my hat as a parent or as a son. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'll level with you. A promise of reaching thousands of citizens and reaching only 306 citizens, that's not acceptable to me. Doesn't cut it. Ask yourself, does this meet your expectations? And consider, does it provide value to the taxpayers? That should be addressed by council. A task force without action is just talk. The report's recommendations, dashboards, open data, and ombudsman need commitment. I'd like to close with requesting 2 commitments from the city. First, release the raw, anonymized survey data. Show the residents who responded and how. Let journalists, researchers, citizens review that data. And second, disclose the full cost of the process. Itemize the consultant fees, staff hours, and public dollars spent. We Hamiltonians, we're steel workers, we're teachers, we're business owners, we're shop owners, we're moms and dads. We want a city hall that's straight with us. This task force can be a turning point, but only if we act. Release the data, show Hamilton what transparency really is, and it's not just promises, it's about actions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Are there any questions of the delegate? Going once, going twice. No questions.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.